next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. The one, the only G-Eazy back in the building, back outside. What's up, bro? Welcome to the show, man.
What's up with it, man? Nice to finally be here.
Bro, so blessed to have you.
I'm finally standing in front of the green logo. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, yeah, it's a rite of passage.
You want to know what's crazy? I actually found, I had a book that I had wrote like my old radio show ideas in college, right? When I was like 18, 19. I did this show called No Genre at the time. And on the right side of the book in the little corner, I got to see if I could get a picture of it. I had like artists that I wanted to bring on the show. And like some of the two of the ones that were there were like Skizzy Mars and G-Eazy.
Oh, that's tight, man.
And I was telling you how like even before then, like I went to a couple of your New York shows while you were out here, man. So like this right here, like everybody's had like a full circle moment recently on the show with like Calvin's had it with like Vic Mensa. Obviously we've all had it with Drake, but like this right here is a really personal full circle moment for me, man. So I'm just excited to have you here.
Oh man, that's love, and it's an honor for me, for real.
How you been?
I've been great, man. I'm living in New York now. You know, you bringing up those first New York shows is crazy because like, so I'd always wanted to live in New York my whole life. I think, hey, also, man, 30 years of Illmatic. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
You know, talk about that. But like, just like, you know, through music and through film, like my association with New York. And I remember, you know, the times coming here on tour, you know, I would look forward to the New York shows, you know, to get a day off in the city and get to walk around, shop, whatever. But, you know, that's just crazy full circle to hear. Yeah, I'm great. Living here now. Finishing up the album, which is the best work of my life, my entire life, for sure. What
was like the big decision to move to New York? Like you did say like that how you always look forward to the New York shows, and even kind of like when we were in the back just chopping it up, you were like, you know, I've done like the Soho thing, like wanted to move to Brooklyn. Like what for you was like the driving force behind moving out here? And did it like live up to your expectations? Because even you were like, all right, I think I want to leave Soho now.
I mean, here's the thing, bro. Like, change is hard for all of us, right? And it's hard for multiple reasons. It's the like willing yourself up to do it. You know, it's the resources to do it. It's the like, you know, I had been living in LA for about 6 years, and I just like, you know, I'd find myself complaining about like, you know, the patterns and routines I was finding myself in there, and you know, the quote unquote toxicity or, you know, going out and this, that, and the other, and just the, you know, quality of some people, you know, out there, and just, so I was like, I had this real moment with myself, like, look, man, you're only getting older, like, you got the resources, and you're not married, don't have a kid, so either shut the up, or just do something about it, man, and take that leap, just go for it, and I just did it, man. I didn't really know that many people out here, but it felt good to just kind of be on my own again, and like, and it was in a transitional time in my career and life and music, and I needed that kind of shock reset, you know, like tapping into new everything, you know, and just coming and being a sponge out here, man, and just figuring shit out. And, you know, it really just like, it inspired this album. You know, I'm telling the stories about, you know, the different experiences I've had out here, because it's just a kaleidoscope of culture, man. Yeah. You know, you walk 3 blocks this way, you're in a different world. 3 blocks this way, you're in a different world. And I'm just fascinated by it all, man.
Right. You know, it's interesting because like you talked about like some of the toxic habits or toxic environments that you were in LA, and I had seen you do another interview, like I believe within the last year. You talked about burnout too.
Oh yeah.
Like, what were some of the things like when you were out there that like you feel like contributed to like a burnout for you, I guess, in career wise, musically, and like what do you feel? What was like kind of like the moment that you realized that you needed to make a change in your life? I mean,
you know, energy is not an infinite resource. You know what I mean? Us as humans, it's like a gas tank, bro. And you know, you got to refill that. And you know, like at least the creativity aspect, you have to live a bit in order to have any story to tell. You know, but at the same time, you got to strike while the iron's hot. Once you catch a record, once you waited and worked your whole life and career to, you know, to get a hit or to, you know, to be in cycle and to have it going. So once it's going, man, it was like the first year, me, myself, and I popped off. It was my first like big hit. Right. I played like something like 270 shows that year, you know, and you know what I mean? And I was, you know, I was young and I was just like hungry as I was just like, I'll do anything. Like, you know, but that wore me to a bone, you know, and like you got to be able to step back and just take time for yourself And for me, it was just like, you know, I've been in this now 10 years since I've been signed.
Right.
You know, and there's a whole 10 years prior to that, you know what I mean, that I don't even count, you know, but relentlessly going after this. And it was the first time I like offered myself a chance to just go live somewhere, go be a person. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm still in the studio at least 4 or 5 nights out of 7, but like, but I'm also doing things like walking around the city, you know, like going to different events, like tapping in with different cultures and scenes and just soaking up.
Right, because you were like, when you were doing those shows, those were like arena shows too. Like I remember like you even had I think at one point you had Jack on tour with you too. When you had did Powerhouse, you came out as the Joker. Like you were moving around a lot during that time, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's just staying in it. Yeah. Like, you know, it's like whether like, I popped out with Jack, but like, you know, like, you know, you do your tour, but then it's like you got the radio shows. Yeah, but then if like an artist is in your city, you pop out with them. But then if it's you know, and it's just at the end of the day, I'm not complaining about nothing because everybody's got a job. You know, fortunately, hopefully, like you know, and people get up and go to work. That's not, you know, it's just a part of it. But you know, in our case, you just got to be able to monitor how to preserve and protect your energy.
How do you protect your energy now?
Hey man, I'm still learning.
Well, what's something that you've done like in the last like 6 months to protect your energy?
Yeah, saying no to stuff. You know, knowing when and where. The power of no. You know, it's like, and sometimes, man, that only does more for your value. Yeah. You know, it's not being everywhere all the time, but it's also just saying no to, you know, differentiating what's really important, trivial stuff here and there, you know, or what's important, who really matters to you, who doesn't. Yeah. You know.
I look, you know, you talked about the 10 years, right? And we're in 2024. That kind of brings us to 2014. But like, you know, I had showed you that I even had like the Endless Summer tape from 2011, which I don't believe is available anymore on streaming and whatnot. It's like if you have it at this point, right? Yeah. But you were saying how like you kind of cringe when you listen to like that type of project, right? Is it cringe for you, or do you kind of like look at it as growth? Because like I think a lot of the records on that on this project were very impactful to a lot of like younger people at the time, including myself.
Yeah. Well, it's both, man. I mean, because, you know, that was my truth. I cringe at the, like, technique aspect because I'm like, damn, man, I didn't know the beats I was making, you know what I'm saying, were so big. Right. Or, like, or my mixing of my vocals and stuff, how I was recording at the time. But, you know, it's all growth. And I read something from an interview the other day. It was talking about Oasis, and they were talking about how, you know, when they had their early run, those 3 years when they were young and broke, they were writing about a perspective of a life. And they were writing it too. The people in the crowds were living the same way, dressing the same way, same age, because so there was a communication that was real. You know, they were living what they were talking about, and the people that were a part of the culture were in that too. And they could never go back to that because they're not those people anymore. So it's like these are time capsules that are special, that are like, you know, that album I can never go back to. You know, it's like, but that doesn't make it a bad thing.
Yeah, it was funny because I was like, I forgot when it was, but it was in the last year, and I was on like a little nostalgia trip, right? Yeah. And I was looking for the Run Around Sue video because I remember the video so vividly in my mind from when you know when I was younger, and then I know that you took it down, I believe, but I saw somebody put it up.
It got taken down because we never could afford to clear that sample. Right. You know, that was.
And it eventually caught up with you because it was up for a long time too.
Man, we shot that video. Me and my manager at the time, like we both maxed out our credit cards, which would probably have $1,500 limits. Right. And we were going to thrift shops to get all the clothes to style the video. You know, me and my homie Tali like had come up with the creative, the treatment for the whole video together. We shot that in my apartment. Like my girlfriend at the time was the main character. Like I was asking friends to be in the video, and that was like a passion project. And it was getting close to the end of the runway of like, yo, if something doesn't, you know. And this is in the blog era, so back then I was emailing all the blogs. You know what I'm saying? Acting like I was. Hi, I'm Gerald. I represent an artist, G-Eazy. I mean, trying to get posted. But we were trying to go somewhat semi-viral or get something going so I could get an agent or I could get on one of these tours or I could get some traction. And that was the first one I remember. The morning after the video came out, you know, we went out to celebrate that night, woke up the next day. And first thing I do, I'm opening my eyes and I refresh YouTube. And it had like 13,000 views or something. And I was like, yo, babe, yo, we did it. We going viral. I was like so juiced off 13,000 views. And, you know, I still hold on to that feeling because, you know, like, although if you play me that now, I wouldn't want to listen to the song. But like, but there was something special that connected with people enough for it to work. And when you get those little moments of lightning and shit, that's.
Do you find like a lot of the fans who bring like that project or that time up to you, like when you get to meet them sometimes?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just played a show in India, or did a tour out there.
Wow, India, like that's
first
crazy.
time I'd ever been to India, played shows in India, and it was so humbling, the level of love that I was getting out there. But particularly like from fans that were like bringing up Run Around Sue and songs like Maryland, like off my first
Reefer Madness,
yeah, dude.
Like, yeah.
And I was like, how the f do y'all know this? Like, bro, what? How? Like, I've never been here, and that song came out like 13, 14 years ago. How? And they're like, yo, you gotta play this at your next show. Trust me, it'll work. So I played one of them. And bro, when I say like 8,000 people in India like sang this shit like it was the #1 song in the world, it was crazy to me. It was humbling. But music is forever, bro. Like I listen to a lot of like 60s jazz, bro. Like that's like when I'm chilling at the crib, that's what I'm on. Like Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, like Chet Baker. So like it's like music is forever, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny because like you're not the first person who's like come in here and been like, oh, I got this one song. I look back on it, you know, you're grateful for it, but like you cringe a little bit at it. Mm-hmm. But like overseas, like for some reason, that's like the song that they all gravitate to. And it's funny because it reminds me of this this biopic I watched about this artist who was from America, but he was like the G-Eazy in South Africa. Mm-hmm. I forgot. It was like searching for something. I forgot what it was.
I've heard about it.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
But he like lived in like they introduced him by like, oh, he's living in like a rundown home in like Detroit or somewhere in the Midwest.
And has no idea that his
and then he finds out, and then he does like one show a year there, and it's always like it's like MSG on steroids, and it's sold out. So like it's always funny because when artists finally get to go to a place that they've never been before, and there's like and it's like you play Run Around Sue, and it's like holy, I
would have never known. Yeah, nah, that's dope, man.
But you know, I think about the New York show that I went to, and I think like I don't know if people give you enough flowers for like the other artists that you've also put on along the way through this. Because that New York show I went to, like I went in not knowing most of the artists that were opening up for you. But when you look back on that show, like almost like I think it was, I don't know if it was Webster or Irving, but you had Super Duper Kyle, right? You had Rocky Fresh, you had Tory Lanez, like you had a whole list of artists who will go on to do incredible things, right?
Yeah.
Looking back on that, like how does that feel 10 years later that you and all these artists were able to come up together and do like,
man,
in your own right, do incredible things?
Man, I was thinking about it. You said Tory. It was me, him, and he went by Carnage at the time, but my homie Diamante, man, like DJ Carnage, like. And,
Carnage
and I was
too,
paying them like each like $100 a show, and I was losing money. like on one of my first, you know what I mean? Like that's how like, you know, like we've bare bones this since, you know, and like, bro, it's just I don't care if people know or not, you know what I mean? Because I sleep well at night knowing that like, bro, like I've been doing this a long time and doing it for the right reasons. Of I just love music, you know. I've chased it with my whole heart because it's been the love of my life. Like, but. Man, I brought a lot of the Bay Area on the road with me. I brought E40 on the road with me.
Right.
You feel me? I brought Kehlani on her first tour.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like Cool John, Pilo, Nefta Pharaoh, you feel me? Like a lot of Bay Area, and I rep that shit, like every single place I go, you feel me, as well. But like, I'm just a fan of good music, you know, other people I relate to and see in them the same drive I have. And then also like, yo, I didn't ever come here just to hog this for myself. Nah, this should be shared.
Right.
Like, you know, so that's the thinking.
That's what I loved about that era. Like, I felt like in that, not saying that doesn't happen now, but I feel like there was a lot more like pulling people up with you in that era. You know what I'm saying?
But
it still happens, but you know.
it's case to case.
It's
like,
case to case, yeah.
Some people, I don't know, that's just always mattered to me.
But it's been funny lately, right?
I can't think of how many times I heard in there. Never mind.
But it's funny lately because like I go on TikTok within the last couple months and like Lady Killers is like out of nowhere just blowing up again, right? Yeah. And I had seen like last year that like even like Tumblr Girls had like a moment on TikTok for a while too last summer. Is it weird for you now seeing like having these things like resurface in this way too? Because I think we've seen it before with different artists. I think Becky G has had like that type of moment on TikTok, but like for you, like when did you kind of like realize that you were having a moment with these older records again?
Hey man, it's weird. But at the end of the day, I'll take it. You feel me? Like at the end of the day, I'll take it, and it's a blessing because the thing is, like I was saying earlier, man, music is forever, right?
Right.
you know, and whether it's like connects with somebody 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, this music is forever. And yeah, but we do got Lady Killers 3 on the way.
Fire, man. Fire. You got to do it after this,
so
right?
that's going to be that one.
But it's cool because, like, you know, you talk about the blog era and sending everything out in pros and being Gerald, like the G-Eazy's manager. And now we look at, like, we fast forward 10 years later to, like, G-Eazy on TikTok, right? Yeah. And, like, G-Eazy doing TikTok trends. And I remember when the video of you doing the Lady Killers trend, like, popped up on my feed, I said, never in my life would I thought that we would be here at this now. Yeah. But it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I was just going to interrupt you to say. Isn't that beautiful? Like, the way life goes, man, you can't predict none of this. We're all just along for the ride, man.
Right, we're all along for the ride. But was all this kind of like energizing you more with this project too?
Yeah. I mean, a couple things, man. For one, I refound my love for music, my just passion, my drive, my excitement. I was having fun again. You know, I felt less like pressure, like make this type of record, chase this, chase that. You know, just have fun, and that's got to come from within. It's not about who's around you. That's about what's inside of you to get there. So, you know, like ultimately I had to rediscover that, like on myself. And luckily I found it, man. I was just having fun in the studio again. I felt less pressure. I felt like, you know, just relaxed. And, you know, and shout out my guys around me, you know, but like, yeah, just like felt this love for music again, like never before. And then, you know, it was just as we were like, you know, catching a stride with the record, and then the Tumblr Girls thing happened. I was like, holy shit, the universe is opening back up. And then as we're finishing the album, like right now, just basically 99.9% done, like the Lady Killers thing hits, and it's like, wow, like look at
God,
what I mean? Look at God, man. Like, you know, and that's just the universe. Just I think, you know, it's just a beautiful blessing of positive things moving in one cohesive direction all at once in a perfect kind of storm. At the right time, baby.
Right.
So now let's go get it, you know.
And we got like the new single now out with Callie and Coy, right?
Yep.
It's dope record, right? That's the first single off the project.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Femme Fatale with Coy Leray and Callie.
Why did you want to go with this for the first single off the project?
I mean, I just wanted to pop back out with something fun, something that was, you know, empowering, something that was sex positive, and something that was fun for the summer. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think both of them are super dope.
Right. It's funny because like I think about like what is kind of with this body work, like where are you going direction wise, right? Like because you said fun for the summer, the Femme Fatale stuff, Lady Killers 3, obviously. You had a couple bars in your freestyle that was crazy about your body count and this and that. Like
I think it's like if anything, it's like a normalization. You know, normalizing a lot of things that are so taboo. That's like I'm not gonna tell you the name yet, but like welcome to this place where it's like, you know, everybody's wild or crazy here. It's okay. It's a non-judgmental space. It's like, you know what I'm saying? If anything, empowering, and it's just okay. It's just relax, just have fun.
Right.
Like, be yourself here.
Is it kind of like a shift from like the projects that you have put out? Because like over the years, as these projects that you put out, you always have kind of like either like a black and white type of cover art. It's kind of it is.
Yeah, this one's colorful. This one's colorful dark. For sure.
Is it kind of like, and I want you to expand on the colorful, but like, you know, I think about like the transition from like the Endless Summer Days to then, you know, all the projects that have since come past them. And it kind of like gets darker as you go along, which, you know, I feel like you talked about.
There's less self-guilt on this project, I think. There's more like self-healing, and there's more just like self-acceptance and, you know, empowerment, like self-empowerment, which I think, you know, we all could use to listen to. You know, we're all so comparative, so hard on ourselves, so judgmental, you know what I'm saying, so negative. It's like, let's just be positive and supportive and just like more embracing, you know, and more connected, more like we're all a whole lot more alike than we are separate. So, yeah.
So is it mostly, like, obviously this has, you know, 2 incredible female artists on it, but is the project mostly just G-Eazy, or is it kind of a little bit more?
Yeah, there's a lot of G-Eazy. There's a lot of G-Eazy. But I've got some incredible people on there, man. I'm really excited to roll this out, and I just really can't wait for the world to hear it, man. I'm chomping at the bit.
We got some Bay Area on there, too?
Oh, of course, off top.
Word. Yeah, no, because, you know, something, bro, I've been wanting to go to the Bay and do, like, On the Radar out there for so long, man. Yeah. And a lot of that stems from, obviously, me being a fan of you, because, like, I feel like when they did the Pilo and E40 verses, bro, I feel like I wouldn't have ever even appreciated that unless I had listened. If I hadn't
You mean
had
the Too Short E40?
Oh, Too Short E40. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Too Short E40. Like I wouldn't have even appreciated that if I hadn't like listened to.
That's love, man. Because I've had E40 and Too Short on every album I've ever put out, man. Like, you know, either one or the both of them, you know, has been involved in everything. And I look at both of them as like as big brothers, as you know, as pioneers, as icons, as kings. You know what I'm saying? Period. They are the, you know, the like, they're the, you know, the faces of the Bay to the world, to the universe, you know. So I grew up on those voices.
So are we gonna keep the tradition alive?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah,
trying to? Okay. We'll leave.
We're still finalizing the whole, you know what I'm saying?
List,
Yeah.
Because you told me the track list really started with 300 like songs.
Yeah. So I mean, if y'all knew how hard this is, bro, like narrowing 300 songs to 14, and I'm not joking, you know, feel me? Like so, but I think I'm finally gonna like pump the brakes a bit, and now that I have all this music, I'm gonna start rolling it out, man. I'm gonna just, you know, like what good is it just sitting around collecting dust on a hard drive?
Right. I miss like the B-side stuff too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I really like I liked because you had your B-sides like little 3-packs, but like also just in general, like I miss like when artists used to just like drop the extra songs on like SoundCloud or Audio Mac or something like that. Like that was like really. I don't know. It just kind of added to the project.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. I'm right there with you, man. I would liberate all these songs if I could, man.
But we are getting the project before summertime, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, before the summertime. Okay, word.
Yeah. You're getting it sooner than later.
Okay, sooner than later. More singles before it, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, for sure.
Word, man. Well, look, you did an incredible job today. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Project on the way. By the time y'all see this, coming soon. More singles on the way.
Yeah.
Before we get up out of here, bro, anything else you want to let the people know where they can follow you at, all that good stuff, now's the time to do it. This camera on the right here.
Yeah. Hey, man, album coming very soon, you know. Man, what else is there to say? Young
Femme
Gerald.
Fatale out now?
You know, Femme Fatale is out now, yes, sir, with Coyle Ray and Cali. And Gerald's back. Gerald woke back up, man. It's that time again. Let's go.
There you go, man. Well, look, make sure you go run up everything he has out now. Go run up the freestyle. Go show him some love. Go show him some support. Love is free. Sports free. But y'all already knew that. Till next time, G-Eazy on the radar. We out. Bye, my guy. Love.
Yep.